Hello, welcome back. This is Sam with Sam's Budget Journey, and I have been slacking on videos, but I have a good reason. So, if you, real quick, before we get into why I'm late on videos, we are going to be doing our month ahead, and this one I've already finished. But we bring $60. Each envelope gets $5. This one's fully funded, so it snowballs into the next one, which this one will get 10. And then once this is done, this one will get 15, and so on. These trackers are from Hey K Budgets. I will have her linked in the description. And then these fully funded slips are from Pink Plum Budgeting. And it actually came with 4 different designs in that one. So I started this before I was prepared, and I don't have my marker out. Things have been just absolutely crazy lately, and I don't know what color to use. We'll do this one. We won't do that one. And now I'm getting a phone call. Of course I am, because he doesn't listen to what time to call. Anyway, so we're gonna go with blue, because I grabbed a different marker and then I threw it on the floor on accident. So we'll get there eventually. So this one, I think I'm actually going to condense real quick instead of 2 5s. This first envelope is gonna get 10. And my ring is sliding around and getting on my nerves. Okay, so how has everybody else been? If you watched my last video, you might know that my husband, like as soon as we got back from vacation, ended up in the hospital with appendicitis. And they took out his appendix. And then one job said, because like he got released on a Tuesday, and thought he was going to go back to work on light duty by Wednesday. But he does industrial maintenance at one job, and then he like picks the orders for the drivers to fill vending machines at his other job. Well, the vending job is way more laid back and a lot more heavy lifting, but they didn't mind if the kids and I went up there with my husband and helped him out. So we have been going like nonstop, and let's see, we had off the week that he had his surgery. We had that entire week off, and then starting Sunday we were going up there, and my son was doing all of the heavy lifting for his dad, while my daughter and I would pick like all the snacks and stuff and get those ready. And then once we got done, because there's typically, it's a lot faster to grab a bunch of snacks than it is to grab a bunch of sodas. So usually we were done before they were. And what we were doing was like waiting until like early to mid-afternoon, because they only have, so the system that they use for picking the orders, it's on an iPad, and they only have 2 because they only have 2 guys that pick the orders. So they only have the 2 iPads for it. But with me and the kids going up there, I needed to be able to use an iPad, and then my husband needed to be able to use an iPad so that he could pick the drinks while we picked the snacks. But then the other worker that's up there needed to be able to use the iPad. So we tried to like work around the time frame that guy comes in. That way we had access to both iPads. But that also meant that I was getting off work, we were having time to eat lunch, and then we were heading straight up to do that job. And let's see, we went 1 week after his surgery, we went back to the doctor, and pretty much everything else was fine. They said he's got gallstones, which that was fun, because now he's kind of freaking out, thinking he's going to have another surgery. And she's like, they're not that bad. They're not concerned. They're just kind of hanging out. They can cause problems later on. You can develop more later on. But as of right now, sorry, I just realized this might be blowing on my earbud. And I was not paying attention. So if it's been making extra noises on my earbud, I do apologize. I just noticed it was blowing directly on it. But anyway, so she basically told him like what symptoms to look out for, which back in let's see, the first time it ever happened was 2011. Right at the end of 2011, I ended up having a gallbladder attack where I was like real sick. I was throwing up a lot and everything. I went to the hospital, and basically they gave me nausea shot. And then they're like, well, your symptoms have subsided, so we think you're fine. It was probably just some type of stomach bug or something. And I'm like, a stomach bug doesn't account for the back pain, but you know, I'm no doctor, so I didn't fight it. And it only happened a couple more times after that. But then it happened one time, and I went to a different hospital, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do a CT scan. And then pretty much the same thing that happened to my husband. They flat out told me, like, hey, you're not going home. We're going to move you to your room, and you're going to have surgery to remove your gallbladder in the morning. Well, that's what they did with my husband and his appendix. But now, knowing that he has gallstones, he's kind of freaking out, thinking he'd have to have surgery. And so I told him, I was like, well, I know what symptoms to look out for because I've been through it. And the doctor also explained to him what symptoms to look out for. And so that kind of eased his mind a little bit. He has, so both of us need to lose some weight. We know it. He's known it for a while. He is still pretty active despite all of that. So when the doctor came in and was talking to him about everything, she mentioned losing weight, and so now the little changes to like make healthier choices that I've been making for quite some time, he's starting to catch on to all of that. And it's fantastic because now it's not like, hey, I asked you to use, you know, this oil on, you know, 2 pieces of chicken instead of your vegetable oil or whatever, you know, just little changes. Instead of like regular butter, we use like an olive oil butter, and, you know, minor things like that. Like homemade sour cream instead of store-bought is another change that I started making because I wanted to try it, and it's actually really easy. And he's getting on board with a lot of that. So so I think once he like goes more than a week, because we're only 1 week in from seeing the doctor, 2 weeks in from surgery. So we started making these changes 1 week ago as of this past Tuesday. So as soon as he gives it some time, I think his like blood work and stuff like that is going to come back a lot better. And I think he'll realize that he doesn't have as much to worry about as he was thinking. And then we went and saw the surgeon on Tuesday. And the surgeon basically said he's good to go. He's fully back at work. No restrictions. No more light duty. So he's allowed to lift and all of the things. And this is probably just going to be another long video. I was going to break it up, but I kind of just want to keep going. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. All right, this is the 100 Disney Sidekicks. I bring $50 to this. These dashboards, along with these completed cards that will probably make an appearance from my binder here shortly, are from Reynolds Budgets. And then as I go through all of the challenges, I will let you guys know who created each one. And I am missing a binder. I moved it. I didn't put it away, and this has my little cheat sheet in it. So the 100 Disney Sidekicks was hosted by Veronica at Weekly Budgets, Carly with Budget with Carly, Veronica with Toria's Budgets, and Gloria at Save with Glow. And then they asked each of these creators to come up with at least 4 challenges, and a couple of them made more than that. Just as long as they made at least 4, I think is what the goal was. And I believe in total it's 124 challenges, and I'm doing all of them. I have a big binder off to the side for any challenges that I do end up completing. And I believe what we're gonna end up doing is using this for Christmas or taxes. I haven't fully decided which one. It'll probably be for Christmas, honestly. Especially with the way things have been going this year. It's like everything was fine and on track, and then we went on vacation and suddenly everything went crazy. So we're working on it. We're getting back on track, and with him being back at work, I think he's really enjoying being able to be out of the house and move around without restriction. The 4th of July, we went over to a friend's house, and at first he's like, well, I guess I don't need these. And he put his tennis shoes up, and I'm like, you have to learn to listen to your body. If you guys are in the yard playing baseball and you like swing the bat and you feel a sharp pain or, you know, any sort of discomfort whatsoever in your stomach, stop playing baseball. If you're playing football, it's all a bunch of older kids. Just make sure that they know, hey, 2-hand touch means don't hit my stomach and don't try to tackle me. But, you know, I still want to participate. And everyone's really cool, so they didn't mind doing, you know, little changes to make sure that he could still participate. Most of the time, he kicked a soccer ball back and forth with our son, and he still had a really good time, still was able to light off some fireworks. This one wanted 3, and it got 3. So we had a really good time on the 4th of July, and then by the 5th, we were back at work, helping him with the vending stuff. But now that the surgeon has lifted all restrictions, he is fully back at work and having a blast. So this one is from Taurus Cash Corner, and I am doing $1 per letter It already has 15 in it, but it got $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8 today. It needs 4 to finish. And again, I am not prepared. I did not have my marker out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then afterward, I will go through and get out new challenges and put these ones away and all that. Spot 2 got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one is from Weekly Budgets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It only needs 3 more. And I have some 5s off to the side I'm gonna use to condense, as long as I don't bury the 5s the second I mention them by throwing a bunch of 1s on top of them. Okay. So this one now has 9. And will probably be one to finish next time. Spot 3 got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know that we've had one get that much in one round. I mean, one time of playing. This one is from Overthinking and Budgeting. And it got 9, but needed 5 to finish. So there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So put that there, and that there. And honestly, we might go through and finish whatever's in here. Or we might switch it up, because a couple of these only got $1. So we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Spot 4 also got 9. But this one is new. This one is from Budgeting with a Ginger. And it only needed 6. So we'll put that up there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in case you're new here, the reason my tinies are extra tiny is because I was not thinking when I started printing, and I printed them on 4x6 photo paper, so it shrunk them way down, smaller than I was expecting. Spot 5 only got 1. This one is from Divine Savings Co. Spot 6 also only got 1. This one is from Budget with Amanda. Spot 7 also only got 1. This one is from the Cafecito Budget. Spot 8 got $4. My hands are a little dry, so they're kind of slippery on the money. All right, this one is from A Court of Savings. Spot 9 only got $2. This one is from A Quart of Savings as well. And how I'm doing this is the number on the dice is what I'm saving, and for the kittens, I'm doing that number. So this one, honestly, I'm going to swipe $1 because it only needed $1 left to finish. So we're actually going to put the 5 back and swipe one of the few 10s that I have. So this one, because of how I did it, saved 30. And then spot 10 only got $2. This one is from Stuff's on a Budget, and it only needed 2 to finish. And then 11 got $5. This one is from Budgeting with Lysandra. Let's see, it only needed 4, so we'll do it that way. So we've got $1 rollover. It saves 8, so I did that like the most confusing way I could have possibly condensed. Okay, and spot 12 got $2. Oh, and this is our first time starting this one. It is from Odette's Budgeting Life. Now let's see. So that one needs 2. That one needs 3. 3, 2, 2. I might go ahead. Let's see what rollover looks like. Oh, hey, I put money in here to condense, and then I forgot about it. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull that out. Because I went through and I looked, and anything that needed condensing, I went ahead and set aside money for it and then forgot about it. Oh, which I do that a lot. Okay, so we need to see how many challenges we finished. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. Now we put that off to the side, and we get out the big binder. And then let's see, we didn't finish the one from Weekly Budgets. And I counted that for a reason, and then suddenly went scatterbrained and forgot to get out my cards. So when you download when you download the cover and challenges and stuff, each of the hosts made a dashboard, a cover, a tracker, like a bank dashboard and that sort of thing. And then they made these randomizer cards, and I use these to determine what challenges I'm doing next, if my fingers will cooperate. So I'm just gonna pick randomly. So we need 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry if you guys can hear my dogs. Their little potty area is like right outside my bedroom window. And my girl's out there barking her head off. So we've got 18, 16, 14, 13, 12, and 20. Okay. So none of them are close, and then I will set these out so that I can start getting these put away, kinda. Okay, so stuff's on a budget. Yes. What is today? Today is actually the 9th. So 7, 9, 26, and that one was an $8 saver. Sorry, I wasn't even in frame for any of that. And then I just fold the money. I tuck it into my binder sleeve, flip the challenge backwards and put it in. Trying to make sure that's dry because it is a different marker than what I was using. Now, I have extra completed cards in here, and I plan on filling them once I get done with the Disney Sidekicks. And then if it's a creator that I'm already done with, their randomizer cards are already put up. So let's see, the next one that we have, let's see, overthinking and budgeting is further back. Budgeting with Lysandra. Let's do this one. 7, 9, 26. It feels so weird to write 7. Like, July feels like it shouldn't even be here yet. It happened so quickly for me. I think with all the craziness and stuff that we've had going on with my husband's surgery and then having to help him at work, time has just flown by for us. I did not mind at all going up and helping him, but I did tell him the other day that it was going to be fantastic not having to go up there every single day. The second I get off work, head straight up to do his job as well. It was a lot, and my kids were absolute troopers through all of it. My son, poor kid, he's 14, but there was one day we went out, and while I was at work, he was outside in the heat. It was probably at least 90 degrees that day, and him and my husband are outside cutting the grass and getting the yard taken care of. What did I do with the challenge? There it is. It blended in. But he's also not used to heavy lifting, and they were lifting like cases, like 24 bottles, like 20-ounce bottles of soda. So it was a lot for a 14-year-old that's not used to heavy lifting to that extent. And it was rough on him, but he, like, very, very rarely did he complain. He just kind of sucked it up and did whatever it was that Dad was needing him to do. He was the muscle behind everything while my husband was having to take it easy. And I already pulled that. I do need one of these. I will go through and show these challenges here in just a minute after I get situated. 16, the Cafecito budget. That's the last one that we have from her. Let's see, Tours Cash Corner has a completed challenge. And that's the one that was 19. But anyway, so there was a couple of days that we could tell the kids were like really struggling, having to help with like lifting and everything. And it was a lot on all of us. My husband was frustrated having to, you know, refrain from lifting, and my son having to pick up the slack and all that. And okay, I'm not struggling with it. What we're gonna do, +1. Y'all ever get that one person that, like, you tell them, hey, call me at this time, and then they don't? I told, he's basically like a brother, but I told him to call me around 11:30, because I had to work until 11 today. I said, call me between 11:30 and 3:30, or 3, because my son has an appointment at 3:30. He called me at 11:10. And I'm like, nope, I'm not answering. I told you what time to call me. I was busy. He knew I had to work. He knew I had to stop at the pharmacy on the way home. It's not like it was some big secret from him. And yet he's now blowing up my phone because I'm not answering, because I'm busy now. Like, he could have called me after 11:30 instead of 20 minutes before that. And it's not like I can just call him back. He's in jail. So I have to wait for him to call me. But if I give him a time to call me and he calls way before that, while I am not able to answer it, there's not a whole lot I can do. But then he'll call me over and over again. Like, I've been recording 33 minutes and he's called me like 4 times. Oh. Thankfully, he gets out of jail soon. And I won't have this problem anymore, because I've already told him if he doesn't stop blowing up my phone, I'm going to block his number. I was kidding, mostly, but you know, it's fun to threaten him, because then he apologizes. And then he does it again the next day, so it's not like it gets me anywhere. But anyway. Alright, so that is the last challenge we needed to pull. Now we still need to put away this one from Overthinking and Budgeting. I started to say it and then saw Odette's Budgeting Life on the card and confused myself. 7, 9, 26. And that one saved 9. I'm very tempted to take my money that I have like set aside over here for like making change or condensing and just start finishing challenges. I really want to just finish everything. I want all of the money saved, which thankfully I have been budgeting for as long as I have and saving. And I started playing these games and that sort of thing because on Wednesday, right after my husband's surgery, he found out that HR was not going to let him go back to work at his industrial maintenance job. And he was not thrilled about it. So I have 1, 2. Which one did I pull the last card on? That's done. There's 1, 2. I'm confusing myself. I'm not gonna count them right now. Nope, still have 1 there. Still have 2. Still have 2. Still have 2. The Cafecito budget, number 16. So because I cannot pull any more cards, there's no more challenges here, I'm going to pull the randomizer card and put that away. And then budgeting with Amanda's already put up. It still has 2 spooky budgets, 13. I pulled her last one too. Ooh. And then I'm flinging stuff. I'm just all over the place today. Anyways, so when my husband attempted to go back to work, HR called him and said, hey, hold on a second. We're going to send you a detailed paper indicating exactly what your job entails. And once the surgeon fills that out, then we'll consider letting you come back with restrictions. So send that off to the surgeon. Surgeon takes his sweet time getting back with it, mostly because my husband's follow-up was only 2 weeks out. And so he was trying to hold off and just not really fill it out until after the appointment, because if there were any complications, they're saying that my husband could have been out 6 to 8 weeks, and they wanted to figure out exactly what information they needed to put on the paper to let the company know how long he's going to be out, what the restrictions are. And then there's other papers that the insurance company needed, because HR said, hey, we want you to go ahead and apply for temporary disability. That way you still get paid for these weeks that you're going to be out, because it's not like you really have a choice. You have to relax and recover from your surgery. And so 89, 90, 91. But he was not thrilled by all of it and everything, but like I said, the surgeon was trying to wait until the last minute pretty much to go ahead and fill out the paperwork. And my husband's like, no, the longer you take filling that out, the longer I have to go without pay. And I told him, I planned for this. And he's like, what do you mean? Because, you know, I understand how ominous that sounds. That was kind of the point of it. And I was just trying to mess with him. But basically, I flat out told him, like, I've planned for this. I have an emergency fund sitting in our bank account. I have an emergency fund stashed. And we're okay. And he's like, what does okay mean? And I said, we don't need to worry about it. The bills are still going to be covered. We will still have money for food. The kids are still taken care of. We're okay. And I think after I showed him exactly what I meant by all of that, he started to relax a little bit more and realize that maybe, just maybe, having me put aside all of this money is not as bad as he was thinking in the beginning. So I think he's more on board with how much money I'm setting aside and saving and stuff. This challenge is from the Cafecito budget. And I'm going to do this one the same way I did the other one, where I save the number on the die and I save that much. So the banana is going to be $1. The monkey and banana is going to be $2. That's going to be $3. And then the monkey is going to be $4. And if I did the math correctly, excuse me, I think that'll save $60. I might be misremembering. I don't know. So this one also has 4. I like to go with the ones that save more when I'm doing stuff like this. So like there was a couple of them that didn't have any rollover. So this one only saves 4. So that's gonna go in one that's not gonna get started today. And this one I think is the next lowest. So that's also not gonna get started today. This new challenge is from Jessie Budgets. And then I've got $3 here. This one saves 10, I think. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. I'll get indecisive and think, oh, well, I've got some rollover. Maybe I should finish some challenges. And then I turn around and pick challenges that I know I'm not going to finish today if I use them for the rollover. So this one from Spooky Budgets is going in spot 9. And then I'm going to go back a little bit because I just added this challenge and didn't tell you guys where it was from. This one kind of blends in, but I believe that says Toria's Budgets. Little Princess and the Frog. Okay. And then spot 10 is going to get this one from Saturn's Vault. Cute little Lady and the Tramp. And then Save with Glow. And the Adorable Stitch is getting 1. And then let's see. So that's it for the 100 Disney Sidekicks for right now. And then I think what we're gonna do, if I find my game board, there it is. We're gonna go ahead and play the Bookshop game, which I was looking, and I believe, so this came from Prop Budgets. I will have her channel tagged. I believe she said that she's leaving her Etsy open, but she's not currently making new videos or making posting new videos right now. Maybe I'm not 100% positive, but I did see that she released another expansion on this, and I have it saved, but I've not pulled the trigger on purchasing that one. So when you purchase the original, you get this playmat, 2 different dashboards. I'm using them as a front cover and a back cover, and then it comes with all of the book cards that you need, all of the customer cards, and then it comes with these dashboards, and then these are your customer wish lists. And then this is the first expansion that she released, and then the wish list, and then that's my back cover and where I stash the excess money or the money for next week. which hopefully next week I will be more on track with filming and all of that. With my husband being back at work, I will be more available to film because he does not need as much help. Occasionally we'll go up with him on a weekend just to help him hurry up and get the job done faster, but that's not all the time. So it also comes with these book cards. These come with the tourist. Each one has a rare book that they need, and then their wish list also is based off of like the original set. So it makes it just like a little bit more challenging to like go through and find out like what books you need to save, because some of them ask for a recommendation. And if it asks for a recommendation for a mystery, or if it asks for a recommendation and you give them a mystery book, like, we'll use this. So Caleb still needs Cold Case Club. Now, if I have Cold Case Club and somebody is looking for a recommendation and I go ahead and give them Cold Case Club, I then cannot give it to Caleb later. I've already sold it. It also comes with pricing cards. There's 4 different ones. I originally planned on bringing more money to this, and then things changed, and now I'm doing $1 per book. These are also the companions that you can add. You add, I believe, 2 at a time, and then when you draw a companion, some of them you have to roll to see if the ability is enabled. Like this one, scares off next customer. And then this one, draw the top card of the customer deck. Choose to leave the card on top or move it to the bottom. So if you get one and you don't have anything on your playmat, any books that they're looking for, you can choose to put it on the bottom. And then as you go through other customers, maybe you'll end up with books that that customer wanted. Just that sort of thing. I have not started playing with those yet. I planned on adding them in, and then I just never really got around to it. So these are the customer cards, and this is what I meant by recommendation. Some of them will want 1 recommendation. Some of them will want 2. It just varies. Some of them don't want any recommendations. So we start by drawing out 4 books. Nope, 6 books. And then another thing, if you have, so the rare books, with those ones, if you go through all of the tourists and they all have their rare books, you can take those out, or you can choose to leave them in. She said it doesn't really matter either way. Our first customer is going to be Ella, and she is a romance fan, so that works out because we've got 3. So a proposal in practice, we don't have it. The Bookshop crush, also we don't have it. The Valentine dare, we do have, so we can give her this one. And then we pay $1 for that. And then I'm going to take a quick peek and see which tourist still needs the rare book. So the Last Door is the only rare book I still need. So because Ella wants a recommendation, I can go ahead and give her a recommendation. And then you're supposed to do like whatever your top, like most expensive book is, that's what you would pay for the rare books, but since I'm doing $1 a book, the rare book is still just $1. Okay, next customer is a tourist. It is Ron. Let's see what we can do for Ron today. Okay, so Ron's looking for Frostgate. We don't have. The Static Man. We don't have. And the Missing Trail, which we do have. So the way that the tourist cards work is they want the rare book that is on the wish list. It's each one has its own rare book, and then any 2 books from the wish list. So they don't want recommendations or anything. They only want these books. But the Missing Trail is one that Ron has been waiting for. And then we pay his $1. And now we're going to Aaron, who is a horror fan. And Aaron does not want any recommendations. He's just looking for 3 horror books. I only have 1. They Were Here is one that he doesn't have. And then we pay his $1. And we restock our book pile. And we need a new customer. We got Felix, who's looking for the Moon Ledger and any 2 books from his wish list. But he's already had the Moon Ledger, so he's no longer looking for that one. He's looking for They Were Here, which I just sold. So we can't give him that one. And A Liar's Best Friend is one that he's wanting. So let's put his $1 over there and get that one crossed off before I confuse myself. And then The Wedding Weekend, which we don't have. So we can only give him 1. Restock our book. And our next customer is Noah. So back up to the horror books. Or the horror customers. And Noah is looking for The Hallway, which we don't have, and 1 recommendation. But we don't really have a whole lot. And both of them have gotten room 9. So we're going to do that. Did I already pay? Is that what I just did? And I hope so. I think I did. I don't know what I did. We'll see. All right. So Raven is looking for Time Manual and 2 books from her wish list. So let's see what her wish list is looking like. Okay. She's looking for The Velvet Siege, which we don't have, and Crushes and Catastrophes, which we just stocked. Oh, and The Silent Witness, which we also don't have. But I overlooked it. So, we were able to give her 1 book on her wish list. Let's restock. And our next customer is Stacy, who is a romance fan and wants 1 recommendation. We have a lot of romance right at the moment. So, Love Online, she's already got Accidentally Yours and Love on a Layover. So, it works out because she wants 1 romance and 1 recommendation. And we are able to give her 2 of the books on her wish list. So, Love on a Layover and Accidentally Yours. And then we pay the $2 for her books. Then, next customer. Okay, and now we have Quinn, our first mystery fan, coming up. Let's see. So, motive unknown, which she already has, and she does not want a recommendation, so there's nothing that we can do for her. We will have to move on to Gwen. Let's see. What can we do on Gwen's wish list? So we don't have the rare book, so we can only give her 2 from her wish list. And let's see. The Ash Crown? No. Night Shift? No. And Love Online is the only one we have, so we're able to give her 1 book from her wish list. And now we get the Ash Crown, which she needs. Ooh. Okay. So now let's move on to Caleb, our other mystery fan, and see what Caleb's wish list says. He wants 2 books and 1 recommendation. And we only have Motive Unknown, so he can have that one. And then we don't have any other from his wish list, but we can go ahead and give him Beneath the Sea Glass because it's not one that I've seen needed right at the moment. Now I might come back to regret that if it ends up being one that I still need. Let's take a peek real quick and see if that was one that we still needed. It was. Frostgate we don't need. Okay. Oh well. It'll be okay. We'll get it next time for him. Okay. Now we're going with Maddie, who is the only one we finished Steve's wish list, but we can use his card for the recommendations, I believe. Yeah, he wants 2 recommendations. Anyway, so fantasy. We have Frostgate she has already got, and then the Ash Crown she needs, and then the Velvet Siege she already has. So we will give her the Ash Crown, and she does not want a recommendation, so we will not give her a recommendation. We will just give her that book and Gilded Paths. Now our last one is Steve, and we know that we can't give him any book on his wish list because his wish list is done. But we could go ahead and we can give him Gilded Path because I think that's not one that we still need. I'm peeking. Last Door is the only one that we need. So we can give him Gilded Path, and then we'll take the $1. And then, let's see. We can go ahead and give him Frostgate, and we'll pay a second $1. I believe my husband just got home, so sorry for the barking dogs. All right, now we'll shuffle our customer cards and see real quick how quickly we can get done with this because my husband's gonna want to come in the bedroom, and that's where I'm filming. But I don't want to make him wait any more than I have to. I know he likes to get cleaned up and changed after he gets off work, so we'll try to make this quick. Okay, we're looking for Raven. Let's see. Raven wants the Velvet Siege. We don't need her rare book. We already have that. We don't have any of the other books that she's looking for, so we'll just give her the one today. And then Stacy is gonna come in, and we have nothing she's gonna want. Except maybe the recommendation. That might be the only thing we can do for her. Because, yeah, we can't do anything on her wish list. So, we're going to cheat a little bit. We're going to go up here to our mystery cold case club. Both of our mystery people need cold case club. So, let's go to our horror fans. Let's see. Room 9. I don't have that one over here. The Static Man. We can give Stacy the Static Man. We don't need that one. Both of the horror fans already have that one. So, let's see. Quinn, our mystery fan. Is that the first one? Yeah. So, we only have Cold Case Club, which she has been looking for. Oh, and look, now we have another one to stock. All right, Noah. What does Noah want? Let's see. Noah is only looking for the hallway. But let's see. Do we have one? The Last Visitor and the Lost Lantern. So there's not really anything we can do with those. Let's see if we can give him a recommendation though. A proposal in practice. I need. And then oh, let's see. Well, we already got that one done. Do you have... You already have Ghost Kingdoms. Okay. So, what we will do is we will give Noah Ghost Kingdoms and the hallway. So now he's got one off the wish list and his recommendation. And next is Maddie, who wants 2 fantasy novels, and we can't give her either. So we move on to the next customer, which is Ron. Let's see what we can do for Ron. So while we're here hanging out and looking at Ron's list, tell me about your weekend. Anything fun that you guys did for the 4th of July. We don't have anything that Ron's looking for either. So this is the challenging part. Once you get closer to finishing their wish lists, it gets harder and harder to finish. Okay, let's see what Aaron needs. The Bloodline Cottage, yes. The Last Visitor, yes. The Lost Lantern, yes. We can give him all 3 of the books that he is looking for. And the Lost Lantern. So he's only looking for 2 more books. There's 1, 2, and 3. Last right here, okay. All right, and then we will restock our shelves again. And now we're looking at Caleb, who is the mystery fan, and we only have 1 mystery out here, and that's not mystery, that's fantasy. We have 2 mystery. Night Shift, already got. And the Last Alibi. So the Last Alibi is the only one that he's looking for. And we're going to go ahead and give him a recommendation of Night Shift, even though he's already read it. Maybe he wants to read it again and give himself a little refresher. But it's not one that we need. So we're going to go ahead and pass it off to him. And hope none of the tourists need it because I didn't look. All right, romance. Let's see what Ella's looking for. Oh, well, let's restock first. Okay, The Wedding Weekend, Ella already has. A Proposal in Practice, Ella does not, so we can give her that one. And then The Wedding Weekend is needed by Stacy, and I don't remember. I believe we already got Stacy. Yeah, we've already got Stacy. Oh, maybe we'll hold on to it. Okay, what do we give her as a recommendation? We'll give her The Quiet Room. Maybe she'll like a little scary to go with her romance. And then there's her $2. Okay, restock. And next, okay. Now, Felix. What can we do for Felix? Felix is looking for They Were Here, which I believe I got rid of in the beginning, and Felix is looking for The Wedding Weekend. And since Stacy was here earlier, Stacy is missing out on that one this time. She'll have to get it next time. Felix only has one more on his wish list. All right, restock. I've only got $2 left. Let's see what we can do for Steve. Steve likes fantasy, so let's not skip it. Steve's the one that's done, so we can't do anything for Steve except a recommendation, which I'm going to cheat and see what we can do for Gwen before I try to do a recommendation on Steve. Gwen still needs the Ash Crown. We don't have. Night Shift. We don't have. And then Last Door as the rare book. So since we can't do any of that, we're going to go back to the fantasy, and Steve wants 2 recommendations, so we're going to switch it up a little bit. He's going to get The Familiar Lie and Follow Me, which is not on his wish list, so there's nothing to cross off. And then pay our last $2. And then I'm going to end it there and get my mess cleaned up. I hope you all have had a wonderful 4th of July and week and a half. It's been a while since I've filmed and posted, and I hope you guys are just having the best time. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.